Hi, my name is Stephanie Esteves del Cruz. My teacher's name is Mohammed. And this project, I'm going to talk about two topics: the American and British English differences, and the second is model of pronunciation, native speakers versus foreign learners. In terms of speech, the differences between American and British English actually took place after first settlers arrived in America. Those groups of people spoke using what was called rhotic speech, where the R sounds of word are pronounced. Meanwhile, the higher classes in the UK wanted to distinguish the way they spoke from the common masses by softening the pronunciation of the R sounds. Since the elite even back then were considered the standard for being fashionable, other people began to copy their speech until it eventually became the common way of speaking in the south of England. Spelling differences. British and American English have some spelling differences. The common ones are presented in the table below. Vocabulary differences. The Americans and the British also have some words that differ from each other. The table below lists some of the everyday objects that have different names, depending on what form of English you are using. Grammar differences. Aside from spelling and vocabulary, there are certain grammar differences between British and American English. For instance, in American English, collective nouns are considered singular. For example, the band is playing. In contrast, collective nouns can be either singular or plural in British English, although the plural form is most often used. For example, the band are playing. The British are also more likely to use formal speech, such as shall, whereas Americans favor the more informal will or should. Americans, however, continue to use gotten as the past participle of get, which the British have long since dropped in favor of got. Models of pronunciation: native speaker versus foreign learners. For decades, there has been a widespread assumption in the field of English language education that native speakers are better teachers. They are said to speak an accent, English, understand and use idiomatic expression fluently, and completely navigate the culture of at least one English dominant society. As a result, non native English speaking educators have found themselves sometimes explicitly discriminate against native speakers of English. However, around the world, 80% of English language teachers are non native speakers of English, but native speakers of English are usually given more value. They find it easier to get a job as an English teacher and get in general better paid. They are seen as belonging to higher professional status than non-native speakers. It is said that as native speakers grew up speaking English, they are more acquainted with the language and with that provide a better language education to their students. But being a native speaker does not automatically make you a good teacher.